We all interpret things differently, and this is what makes college football great. This is what makes Alabama football great. This is what makes America the country that it is, because if everybody spoke the same, if everybody talked the same, if we all laughed the same, it would be a pretty boring country, to say the least. So it's great when you have different opinions, different thoughts, different debates, different conversations. Everybody has a different viewpoint. It makes the world go around. So on Wednesday, Coach Saban took the podium after the third spring practice of Alabama, spring football here. So Coach Saban takes the podium, and among the first things he discusses was Bryce Young is probably a little bit ahead of everybody else in the quarterback room. That's what he said. Bryce Young probably a little bit ahead of everybody else in the room. Now, the moment fans heard that part right there, the moment fans heard that sentence, Bama Nation took it and ran out the front door like people taking cookies out of the bakery. Bama fans took it and ran right out the front door. They didn't hear, the part where Coach Saban goes, he's probably a little ahead. Bama fans heard Bryce Young and ahead in the same sentence, and they said, that's it. He's ahead. He's the guy. Took it, ran right out of the bakery with that. Now, everybody, once again, have their own interpretations of what Coach Saban mentioned there. So, for me, my interpretation of all of this, in my opinion, this is setting up to be the biggest A-Day game, the biggest spring game of the Nick Saban era. This spring, this A-Day, mark it on the calendar right now, Saturday, April 17th, noon Central Time, Bryant-Denny Stadium, ESPN having the call on this. This will be the biggest, the most significant, the most critical, the most crucial, the most important A-Day game of the Nick Saban era. And to me, normally A-Day serves as a formality, right? You got the husband and the wife with the children. You got the boyfriends, the boyfriend and girlfriends going to the A-Day game. You've got catching up with old friends, old colleagues, reminiscing on old times, and you're just happening to watch a sport and event right in front of you. To me, that open practice in August, that first weekend in August, to me, typically, that's the big moment, because the open practice symbolizes your 2 to 3 weeks before the start of the season. So that will be the moment where you are seeing the guys on the field at Bryant-Denny. You're looking at who will be the starters, who will be the marquee contributors, who will be the individuals that will emerge and make Alabama football what it is for that particular season. So normally, the open practice is the big deal, and A-Day is the formality. However, there have been a couple of moments where A-Day has been more than just a formality, and this will be one of those moments. And the reason why is U.S. fans, y'all want to know for real, what is this future at quarterback? I mean, it's cool to read the stories. It's cool to read the page clippings. It's cool to hear what the people like me have to say on YouTube about this deal. But it means more to you as fans when you can watch this with your own eyeballs. When your own eyeballs behold, is Bryce Young really the guy? When your own eyeballs behold Paul Tyson, when your own eyeballs behold, Jalen Milroe, then it becomes more real to you because you're watching it and you're seeing it for yourself. And after not having an A-Day game this past season, y'all starving. Y'all hungry. Y'all did not, half of y'all fans I can take, and y'all can go butt naked through a jungle right now and come back with a full mink coat on. That's how hungry y'all are right now. That's how starved of a spring game you guys are right now, because y'all didn't get this last year. Y'all didn't have this last year. Y'all want to see, for real, and I'm talking about to you, the Bama fans, that Bama football pumps through your veins like your life depended on it. If I was to cut you open right now, your blood would spill Alabama football on the ground. These are the fans I'm talking to. Y'all want Bama like y'all lives depended on it. And, for you guys, not having a spring game last year, not having an A-Day last year, it bothered you. It frustrated you because you wanted to see what does Alabama have on this football field, in terms of a quarterback position. And even though there's going to be payment to get into this A game, it's a $5 general admission. If we can come off of $4 for a Wendy's 4 for $4, if we can come off some money for that Wendy's biggie bag, if we can come off some money for different things we want to come off of, we can come off of that $5 for that A-Day game. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, $15. This is an opportunity to see what does Bama have right now at the quarterback position. And just, for me, reason why this A-Day game is the biggest at the Nick Saban era, Bryce Young has garnered so much attention, so much talk, so much conversation, and granted, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of ability. Bryce Young has garnered so much conversation that he can actually go out here on A-Day and have an average game, right? He can go out there and go 11 for 20 passing. That's 55% for 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. He can have numbers like that, and you instantly go, that's QB1. That's the starter. That's the man. That's it. Crown him. Put the cape on him. Put the S on his chest. He's Superman. There's Bryce Young. There he goes, folks. There he goes. In terms of Paul Tyson, Paul would literally have to take your cornea, your retina, your entire eyeball out of its socket. Take both of them out and stick them right back in. Paul Tyson would have to rip your soul through your nose and then stick it back up the passageway before you begin to go, like Paul Tyson would have to have 300 to 400 passing yards with 4 to 5 touchdowns and no turnovers for you to go, oh my gosh, he's good. He's really good. Hey, bruh, did you know he was good? Bruh, swear, no cap. You thought he was good for real? Bruh, I declare I didn't think homeboy was that good. I promise you I thought he was just Paul Barry Bryant's great-grandson. Hold on. Good. You knew he was good? Good. I declare I didn't know Paul Tyson was good. How you know he was good? Good, no cap. How you knew? You knew? How you knew? It'll be for real. He would have to sit there and put up those types of numbers for us to even begin a conversation of Paul Tyson being in this quarterback situation. He would have to go up there and put just uncanny numbers there on the table. And then lo and behold, if Jalen Milroe comes out being the guy in this spring game, then we all have to kind of turn the marbles over, the rope over, the whole conversation upside down if Jalen Milroe becomes the guy in this. But just singling this out between Bryce and Paul here, where this quarterback room is concerned, if you don't want to see the conversation stretched out into the summer, into the fall, and into the season, whoever wants this job, they're going to have to get it in the A-Day game. They're going to have to dominate in the A-Day game. They're going to have to take it in the spring game because, like I said, all of you are watching the spring game. All of you are watching. If Bama football is pumping through your blood right now, you would have to be in one of 3 places. You got to be at this A-Day game at Bryant-Denny. You have to be at home with the TV, the surround sound, all of that hooked up, or you got to find yourself in a sports bar and grill. Whatever the case may be, you got to watch this A-Day game because this is the future of the quarterback position of your Crimson Tide. And if you are valuing Alabama football the way you're saying that you are valuing Alabama football, your butt got to be right there with the Alabama football entails. But for Bryce Young and for Paul Tyson, this is a situation where if you don't want the conversation stretching all the way into the summer, all the way into fall camp and into the season, whoever wants this, they got to take it here in the A-Day game. And for me, it all kind of goes back to, 2016 where this spring game was not a formality. And I remember Alabama had Blake Barnett on the roster at that time, David Cornwell on the roster at that time, Cooper Bateman on the roster at that time. But when we left the stadium in 2016, we left going, holy balls. This Jalen Hurts, this Jalen Hurts, this Jalen Hurts. And I remember when I left the stadium in particular, and our photographer, Cedric Mason of TDA, good dude, great dude. I mean, when I left the game with Ced in 2016, Cedric and I, we locked souls, like we locked eyeballs. And I remember Ced told me, Steven, bruh, this number 2, this Hurts, Jalen Hurts, that's your starter. That's QB1. That's your starter right there. And we saw this coming out of the stadium from the A-Day game, and we all saw what happened at the end. Jalen became the guy. If you remember 2018 and 19, those 2 spring games where Mac Jones snapped, he went off. He was throwing haymakers out there. We left that stadium. A lot of us that believed, we left going, man, if this Mac Jizzle, if this Mac 10 ever gets a shot at this thing, he got something. He got something. You see this? He got something right here. So we had an idea with Mac Jones in those spring games, and even down to, remember, 2017 between Jalen and Tua. That was a fire show in 2017. We got the stadium going, man, Tua. But nah, bruh. Jalen got that cannon too, bruh. Did you see Jalen throw that 70-yard touchdown? You saw Jalen throw that 60-yard bomb? You saw Jalen? And it became kind of too close to call at that moment, but Jalen Hurts started that year. Tua came off the bench and won the national championship. So there have been a couple of moments where A-Day has served for more than just a formality. This year's spring game, mark it right now, biggest game of the Saban era. If you're a Tide fan, you were robbed of this last year. You are hungry. You are starving. You're going to be at this game because this game will entail who's QB1. We're going to get a glimpse of this. Who's QB1 between Bryce Young and Paul Tice. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.